Hi, it's week 3 of NFL Primetime. Chris Berman, Booger McFarland. It is autumn by the calendar. Things starting to heat up. You ready to go?
I'm ready to go. The leaves have changed colors all of a sudden.
Not yet. Don't push us here. Come on, we still got some golf to play. Speaking of golf, congrats to the U.S. Ryder Cup team. It's a wonderful event. I went to France a few years ago to see it. Congrats to them. More on that a little bit later. So 7 teams began the week at 2-0. Carolina won on Thursday night. Could the other 6 keep pace? The team usually undefeated at this time, Kansas City Chiefs, trying to avoid going below 500 for the first time at any point in the season since 2015. A hot day in Arrowhead because the L.A. Chargers, yes, the L.A. Chargers, they've been building. They're capable. They've lost a lot of close games to Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and the Chiefs. So after the loss to Baltimore, what would the Chiefs have in store? Mahomes. Whoa, they didn't count on this. Off of Marcus Kemp into the hands of Asante Samuel Jr. Now just 49 behind his famous father.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes just a little too cute, trying to throw the no-look pass there. Threw it behind him, ball was tipped. Overthrows and tips, defenders we always get.
All right, so the Chiefs' next offensive possession, 2nd and 11. Tyreek Hill. It's a fumble. Michael Davis recovers for the Chargers on a good punch-out.
Second trip in the red zone. Shout out to Peanut Tillman. Another turnover for the Chargers.
Devon Campbell doing it. Turn the ball over. First 2 possessions. What is going on? 7-0 L.A. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Not a fumbling problem, but we saw the fumble a week ago against Baltimore. Now he coughs it up again. Oh, my goodness gracious, what's going on?
Fumble at the end of the Raven game, now fumble in this game. I'm not worried, but I am concerned.
And Patrick Mahomes is a little concerned, trying to rev everybody up. 14-3 Chargers at the half. Now 14-10, little screen. Chiefs such a good screen team. Edwards-Helaire, 10-yard touchdown. Chiefs score 17 unanswered points at 17-14, they lead. Start of the 4th quarter. 4th and 4. Chargers going for it on the 28 of the Chiefs. Such big targets. Keenan Allen first down.
Outstanding, maybe the best route runner in the NFL.
And Justin Herbert, his second year. His first year was great. Second year looking pretty good too. Mike Williams, 20-yard score. Chargers 21-17. Under 7 minutes to go. At the 8, Mahomes, Chiefs knocking. It's not that hard, man, to get into the end zone. So when they go to Mecole Hardman, it's a touchdown, 24-21. Chargers kick field goal, 24 all. 3rd and 8, under 2 to go. Mahomes buying time. Alohi Gilman. I don't know if he's a distant relative of Sid Gilman, but Kelsey Mahomes going, what?
Just an ill-advised pass by Patrick Mahomes, trying to make a play on 3rd and 8.
And now the Chargers, 4th and 9 at the 35 with 48 to go. They're going for it. They don't kick it. Oh, my goodness, it's broken up. Intended for Jalen Guyton, but DeAndre Baker, good call.
Great call.
So first down. And now 1st and goal Chargers. The floater, Williams, touchdown. Chargers miss the extra point. You're playing the Chiefs. Be careful. 30-24. But now, from the 49 with 5 seconds to go. Tick, tick, tick. Final play. Hail Mary. Magic wouldn't work this time for Kansas City. My goodness. The L.A. Chargers, I know they won a game late against them last year when it was kind of a week 17, but the L.A. Chargers, they brought it. They played good D. They made their own kind of mistakes, but these are the type of games the Chargers the last couple of years would lose. What a huge win for them in Kansas City, who fall to 1-2. And for rookie coach Brandon Staley, what a big win. They're 2-1.
I felt like Justin was the best player on the field, and I think Mike Williams was right there with him. He really played the position how you need to.
Really early in the season. Obviously, we haven't had many of these we haven't had any since I've been playing quarterback here. We're behind all these teams in our division. But the bright spot is we got a long season to go, so it's just going to be how we respond and how we go to work every single day.
Well, look, let's start with the Chargers because they've been building toward it. They've given the Chiefs a lot of tough games. I thought beginning of the year they were a playoff team. We're in September. I get it. What did you see out of them? Mental toughness, they still made some errors, but
Still made some errors, still too many penalties, but this is a very, very good football team. It's a team that believes in their young quarterback, and they know that any game, if they don't turn the football over and they don't commit penalties, they're going to be in it and expect to win it because of their young quarterback. Their defense was outstanding. They still need to run the football a little better, but boom, this can be one of the better teams in our league. Definitely can challenge Kansas City for the best team in the AFC.
Well, they have weapons on both sides of the ball. The offense, we showed it. It's funny, and speaking of the Chargers before the year, they thought kind of quietly, it sounded goofy, I'm more confident in their defense out of the gates than they were the offense. That's because Derwin James back, he got hurt, and he went, okay, look, on the Chiefs. 1-2. It's only September. However, we saw against a good Cleveland team, against a good Baltimore team, now against a good Charger team. Defense not playing the way they need to.
You can make an argument the Chiefs should be 0-3 because they followed the same formula. We're going to fall behind by 10 to 14 points. Then all of a sudden, Patrick Mahomes, he's going to bail us out. Well, guess what? Sometimes he can't do that. He did it against Cleveland, but he hasn't been able to do it here of late, especially today. The worst run defense in the NFL. No team since my 2006 coach has won a Super Bowl with the worst rushing defense. That's what the Chiefs have. So the defense has to get better, and the lack of just enthusiasm to play early in the game has to pick up because they can't continue to fall behind by double-digit points.
Well, because they've won so many of those games.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a security blanket, but it's not. It's a tough way to go.
It is.
Down double digits.
Very much so.
All the time. Well, tell you what, a team that's also finding some tough sledding in its division. Pittsburgh Steelers, but not from the usual source. Cincinnati in town. I mean, they rarely win in Pittsburgh, let alone beat the Steelers at all.
You don't say.
Well, but guess what? Big Ben. You play them 8 million times as an unbelievable word. Oh, my goodness. Arm is hit. Hit by Sam Hubbard, and Big Ben shaking it, intercepted Logan Wilson.
Big Ben, no, you can't double pump the football, especially behind a porous offensive line. Big Ben takes the hit, interception.
Now 3rd and 2, Joe Burrow. Tyler Boyd, give him a little time. We know what he's capable of. Boyd in the end zone, 7-0 Cincinnati at the Confluence. Second quarter, drive starting on the 22. Or Steelers driving on the 22 of the Bengals. Not Franco, but Najee Harris. 18-yard swing pass from Big Ben, and then, this isn't a deep play, but Pat deep Pryor move. It's a 4-yard touchdown. We're tied at 7.
It's such a struggle for the Steelers to score. You didn't expect that from this offense.
Under a minute to go in the half. Bengals. Wait a minute. Do I smell an LSU hookup? Burrow to the rookie Jamar Chase. Touchdown 14-7. You can sing the fight song, Booger.
Go Tigers.
That's not singing. Now it's 17-7 Cincinnati third quarter. Ben moving. Oh, no. Right in the hands of Wilson. Big Ben picked off twice by Wilson. Bengals in business.
Ben wasn't moving fast, by the way.
Well, the Bengals moving fast. 2nd and 8 at the 17. Burrow. They don't really want to see it, but he can move.
One of his favorite plays, empty formation.
Next play, he goes, you know what? This is why the team drafted my college teammate, so I can have some help with a guy that we already are comfortable together. Chase with another touchdown. 24-7 lead, and the Bengals go on to win. It may not have even be as close as the scoreboard said, Booger. 24-10. You saw the 2 to Chase. 4 Cincinnati sacks. Pittsburgh offensive line trouble. All 5 starters had at least 1 penalty.
And no pass rush from Pittsburgh. A quarterback that had been sacked 9 times and hit 17, Joe Burrow, was not sacked today.
And admittedly, Pittsburgh had some defense out. They had no sack. Bears at Browns. We said that the Steelers would have some trouble in the division. They already know about Cleveland. Beat him at the Confluence last year. And look at that number 1. There's a reason I pointed it out. I'll wait. Justin Fields making start number 1 in the NFL for Chicago. Hello? Well, you're not playing. You're not playing the Mid-America Conference anymore, even though you're in Ohio. Myles Garrett with a sack. Field. Donovan Peoples-Jones. This is the Browns, rather. This is Baker Mayfield. And the Browns moving the chain. 23 seconds to go. That's Austin Hooper, touchdown Cleveland.
Really good throw by Baker Mayfield over the linebacker in front of the safety, just how you draw it up.
Cleveland leads it 10-3. Now 13-3 over Chicago. Justin Fields. Myles Garrett had not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 4.5 sacks. They had 9. You get a feeling for the way this was going. 3rd and 19. How's this going to go? Take a guess. Buying time as Fields fires it. John Johnson with the pick, but there is a flag. He was called for pushing off.
Yeah, you can see Robinson there, the push off. Anytime you extend both arms, the referee's going to call it.
So Bears now at the 7. And whoop, he slips. A little early for ice, but at any rate, the Bears get a field goal 13-6. Odell Beckham back in the lineup, first game of the year.
Welcome back, Odell.
Mayfield, Beckham caught 5. Here's one for 16 yards. Later in the drive, we begin the fourth quarter. Kareem Hunt, more workhorse on this day. Hunt slips a tackle, slips another, and he's in. We've seen him make great plays like this. 20-6 Cleveland.
Really good running, even worse tackling by the Bears defense.
10 minutes to go. Bears. Another sack by Garrett. Like we said, he had 4.5. The Browns had 9 sacks. That number 1 on his jersey. They had 1 passing yard. Now, I understand they subtract with sacks, but yet the stats will show 1 is 1 passing yard. That's how good the Cleveland. Look, talk about 42 plays. They gained 47 yards, 1 of them in the air. Kareem Hunt, 155 yards. Now, did we say there would be trouble? Yeah, Pittsburgh already knows about Baltimore. They've known about it for 20 years. But Baltimore figuring we're at the Lions after the last 2 unbelievable heart-stopping games on 1 win, 1 loss. How would it go? It's Detroit, right? No problem. Lamar Jackson, Hollywood Brown. Now, he dropped like 5 of them.
Several.
He was hardly Hollywood. He caught that one. 3rd and 18 from the Detroit 19. Kick returner with speed, Devin Duvernay. Touchdown, and the Ravens lead 10-0.
Yeah, nice pass there by Lamar. Even better catch by Duvernay, understanding where he was and getting both feet down.
16-7. The Ravens, the Lions hang around. Give him credit. We don't like those gray uniforms, but we like the way they play. DeAndre Swift catching it from Jared Goff. Yeah, you reviewed it. You might have got in, but they don't challenge it. But guess what? Jamal Williams, fresh set it down. They're in anyway. 16-14. It's a 2-point game. Under 6 to go. Lamar. Amani Oruwariye. I am the Oruwariye. I won't sing. He intercepts him. And Detroit. Wait a minute. Lions? Under 4 to go. 2nd and 9. Goff. Khalif Raymond. Move the chain. 2.5 to go. Goff. Screen. Raymond. Cuts it. Deep in the red zone to the Baltimore 14. COVID shelved the Lions' regular kicker, Ryan Santoso, but he's immune to pressure, evidently, and the kick is good, and the Lions lead 17-16. The Lions are going to beat the Ravens. Are you kidding? 3rd and 13 from his own territory. Lamar, no! Is sacked out of bounds. Loss of 6, 4th and 19. And unless who's in the house?
Freddie Mitchell.
Well, I don't see him. Lamar Jackson, 4th and 19. Look, he's pulled rabbits out of the hat. How can he do it? That's how.
Oh.
Sammy Watkins down to the 48. Baltimore clocks the ball. Tick, tick, tick. Justin, it's a 66-yard field goal. Come on.
No,
wait a minute.
No
He's
way.
as good as we've ever seen. The kick is up. 66 yards. It is. Doink. It's good. It eats over the bar. The longest field goal in NFL history. Former record, 64 yards. Matt let us Prater when he kicked for Denver. Here it is again. Watch this, because we weren't even sure. Right down the middle, first of all. Doink. High. And the Lions fans think no good. No. It's just, how do you do it? The kick had that much overspin, whatever. And so the Ravens, it's hard to explain the games they've been playing, and it's only September. Give the Lions the nod for playing so tough again. John Harbaugh, whose face was like the jack-o'-lantern last week, this was like more of disbelief.
With Justin Tucker, which is, he's the best kicker in history. And when you have a kicker like that, you want to give him an opportunity like that. And for him to come through like that is is just historic.
I don't even know how to describe it. I didn't think it would make it.
Bro, oh my God, because it's going. I'm like, oh. When they hit the upright, I'm like, but it's spinning forward. I see my equipment guy, little Jordan, I'm like, oh yeah, we got him. We got the dub.
Man, that's the guy you want, he's the GOAT, man. That's the GOAT. He's the GOAT, man.
What I will personally take away from this moment is this team that, trust God, we trust each other, and that's trust with 2 Z's.
I mean, it's like we said, it's only 3 games, and every one of them is the gray hair, the nail bite. First of all, 66-yard field goal. Forever we remember Tom Dempsey's 63-yard field goal, and there have been a few more of those in Prater's 64, but 66. I don't care if it's indoors. I don't care if it's at 10,000 feet, right down the middle to win a game. So hats off to him, to Justin Tucker, and the Ravens. So just like we said, the Chiefs, they get behind, and the last couple of times they haven't been bailed out. The Ravens have been behind bailing out. Not a good recipe, but they'll live with it for now, I guess.
Without a doubt. And Lamar Jackson continues to be outstanding, makes some ill-advised throws, but he's got to get some help. The receivers, Sammy Watkins, Hollywood Brown, they had several drops today. This game should not have been close today. If the Ravens receivers catch the football, it's a blowout. But when they drop 2 touchdowns for sure, maybe 3, they allow the lines to hang around. The receivers have got to get better. But here's the thing. We went into the offseason saying Lamar needed a different receiver, and he hasn't quite gotten that yet. They still need to work on that.
Real quick, let's go back to Pittsburgh because that's eye-opening.
Yeah, very, yes.
I mean, again, they did 1 and 2, and they beat Buffalo. So that would, but, boy, there's lots of things, and they have a ton of injuries on defense already. We read you the stat. Their O-line still scuffling. There's a long list, isn't there?
Pittsburgh in a nutshell. The quarterback looks shot. He can't move. He looks very indecisive in the pocket. The offensive line is not very good. And when you have T.J. Watt not playing, you're not getting any pass rush. So now the back end of that defense is exposed. They have a lot of problems in Pittsburgh, and I'm afraid it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, the division, because now Cincinnati
absolutely,
yes. We know the other 2 teams are.
Exactly.
Well, they're playoff teams. We're a month away from Halloween, but the Saints have already worn 2 different disguises,
yes.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So this time the Saints go on the road to New England. First week they decimated Green Bay. Last week they looked lost at Carolina. Sean Payton, Bill Belichick, both been at it a long time. No Brady, no Breeze. Wait a minute, where did they go? Well, Mac Jones is there and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Loss of 5. It's already 7-0 New Orleans first. Next play, Mac Jones, short. J.J. Taylor quickly brought down Mario Davis. No first downs opening quarter converted for the Patriots, first time since 2018. Under 3 minutes to go in the half. Jones, hit, floats, P.J. Williams, look out. PJ's on his P's and Q's. He could go most of the way, his first pick.
And that was the theme of the day, constant pressure on Mac Jones to see if he would make a mistake, and he did.
Jameis Winston, speaking of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Jameis?
No!
Yes! What a great play. Hey, it's Marquez Callaway. It's a touchdown.
Even though that's a touchdown, Sean Payton will not be happy. You put the ball at risk, therefore you put our team at risk.
He's happy to see 14-3 at the half, however. Now, Patriots, second half. The youngster, the rookie, Mac Jones. Jonnu Smith, one of the... Malcolm Jenkins picks it off. He's got a convoy, and he goes all the way. 34-yard pick, 21-3 New Orleans in Foxborough. Patriots looking to come back, but they got a long road to hoe. Saints, when they're on, they play defense too. Jones to Kendrick Bourne. Born again around the pylon, and he's in. What a nice play, 21-13.
Outstanding body control. Good job by Mac Jones, giving his receiver a chance to make a play in one-on-one coverage.
Now the Saints. This was interesting. In their own territory, it was Winston. Now it's Taysom Hill, because once you're across midfield, now the other team knows you're going to run. So what? Taysom Hill can run it. Hill runs it into the end zone. He's a beast. And the Saints, look, they decimated Green Bay, and they went into Foxborough and hammered the Patriots 28-13. Winston threw for only $128. But The New Orleans Saints beat the Patriots the first time Bill Belichick's Patriots have lost their first 2 home games since 2000. That was before Tom Brady was started.
And that seemed to be the formula for the New Orleans Saints. We're not going to let Jameis throw the football a ton. We're going to run the football, control the clock, and keep the ball in our defense's hands in our running game. Great game plan by Sean Payton.
Meanwhile, the Buffalo Bills. See, the Patriots go to 1-2. The Buffalo Bills lost opening day, but a huge 35-0. This is before the game. Chase Young, Josh Allen.
Hello, how you doing?
Washington football team. Chase Allen kind of traced down Josh Allen, but before the game they shook hands. And how about that to Emmanuel Sanders? Touchdown to number 1.
3 guys in the NFL can make this throw. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Aaron Rodgers. Only 3 that can make that throw.
And a 28-yard touchdown, 7-0 Buffalo. Bills have scored again. It's 14-0. Watch this. Dawson, hard knocks. Tight end. If they get catches like this from the tight end in addition to the receivers, wow.
Back shoulder fade to the tight end. You got to love it.
21-0. Taylor Heineke. Tell you what. And Antonio Gibson made this swing look well. Antonio could go all the way. The pylon on there, and Washington scores 21-7.
One of the better dual threat running backs in our league.
This is a pooch kick, but the Bills weren't expecting it, or the Sun. And guess what? Live ball. Dustin Hopkins not only kicked it, he recovered it for Washington.
Like a little 60-degree wedge, it hit in a little backspin. Caught the Bills a little bit off guard, boom.
Well, backspin, some of us can't do that. Taylor Heineke, remember how impressive he was on the rollouts in the playoff
Yes.
game? Even though they lost to Tampa Bay? Well, watch this. And get a cold one ready, because Heineke, it's a 6-pack. Touchdown. 21-14. We're having a good time here in Primetime. 24-14 now, Buffalo leads. Cole Beasley had a big game. 22 yards and a first down. Now, this is still at the end of the half. They kicked 1 field goal, get ball, and now Stephon Diggs. How pretty is this to give their kicker, Tyler Bass, from 48 yards out? This is all at the end of the half. This is textbook. And guess what? The fish are jumping. Bass, field goal, good.
Really good teams finish off the half, and they start off the third quarter. The Buffalo Bills did just that.
27-14 they lead, and then the Bills. And Emmanuel Sanders, he's a clutch receiver, and Colonel Sanders does what a colonel should. Salutes the Bills Mafia, and Buffalo goes on to win going away 43-21. Last 2 weeks, the Bills 78-21. They've outscored their opponents. So look, for Buffalo, what's wrong with? No, there's nothing wrong with Buffalo Bills. Here's what I'm seeing. And Washington did get a couple of scores, but the defense 2 years ago, Booger, was better than the defense last year when they had the 13-3 record. If that defense, I mean, Josh Allen and the offense speak for itself. I'm seeing that defense, Milano around the ball, et cetera. Do you?
Josh Allen hasn't been playing well the first few weeks. He played better today. The defense, we've all talked about pass rush from Buffalo. Can we get more pass rush? They're finally living up. Some of the draft picks, Russo, Hughes, the guys up front are starting to rush the passes. So even though they haven't put it all together yet, you saw a glimpse of it today. And here's the thing, that vaunted defensive line from the Washington football team, 0 sacks today. Great job by Buffalo's offensive line.
And overall game plan. No, there's no, they're not going 15-2. Right. Relax, Buffalo. There are plenty of wagons to be circled. This team is building from all angles. Now, Seahawks, Vikings, Minnesota, one of the last teams. Only 4 teams hadn't opened at home yet. Minnesota doing it, and they're 0-2. And the horn was ready. Would it be a horn? Oh, Randall McDaniel.
My former teammate, Randall.
What a good man.
Great man.
Yeah, just saw him this week as well. Funny moment. I tell you what, the Vikings go to pull out all stops. We're playing with only one shoe. We feel that good. Kirk Cousins saying, all right, I'll dance. Meanwhile, Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, and this is what he can do. Not only the size, the speed, inside the 10. It's like last week when Seattle started so well. Metcalf caught 3 on the opening drive, 7-0 Seahawks on the road. No Dalvin Cook today for Minnesota. Alexander Madison. We saw him some last year. He's all right.
Yeah, no Dalvin Cook, no problem.
No, a little swing, a little flopper to Madison. 1 shoe, 2 shoes, it's 20 yards. Kirk Cousins. He's firing. Another 0-2, but he's firing. Last week, a lot of yards is Tyler Conklin. Touchdown, Minnesota, 7-all. Seattle kicks a field goal, 10-7. On the move, 2nd and 7. Pete likes this. Chris Carson. Even when there's no one there, he runs hard. If someone's there, nobody touched him, he's a locomotive.
Really outstanding blocking by the left side of that Seattle offensive line. Anytime the running back scores untouched, the offensive line did their job.
So it's 17-7. Minnesota in trouble. Maybe not. Cousins, Justin Jefferson. They're moving on up for 26 yards. 4 plays later. Cousins. Oh, what a feeling. Adams dancing on the Thielen. Touchdown to Adam Thielen, 17-14, Vikings within 3. 24 seconds to go before the half. And you said you're going to win your last 2 minutes of the half. This is Cousins to Conklin. Last time out, Minnesota, 20 seconds to go. Little fake, little fire, and it's wide open. Cousins was 30 of 38 for 323.
Outstanding little whip route by Jordan Jefferson. Watch him set the cornerback up, plant, and get back outside. That's all that footwork in the offseason. Great job by Jefferson.
And Jefferson caught 9 today for a $118, 21-17 Minnesota at the half. Pressure on Wilson. That's Eric Kendrick for a big loss. 4th and 12, Seattle going for it. You just had a full moon the other day. Russell throws another one. Oh, Harrison Smith got there just in time before the ball got to Freddie Swain. So the Seahawks, again, with a double-digit lead in the first half, like a week ago against Tennessee. And then they see the other team score all the points. Vikings, big win that they need. Boy, both teams are 1-2.
Pete can't be happy about his defense, as you said, blowing leads. The Legion of Booms, this defense is not. They're going to have to figure out a way to hold on to leads and make some plays, especially in the secondary.
All right, Cardinals, Jags. Jags, well, Arizona trying to go 3-0. One of those 7 teams that started the week 2-0. Kyler Murray, we've seen this. Christian Kirk, 28 yards. Kyler Murray in the Florida Heat, middle of the first quarter. Murray, yeah, I think he might get in. 7-0 Arizona. The Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville. Let's see. Well, we'll see it again. My bad.
Yeah, anytime Murray is down by the goal line, he is a threat to run the football, and Cliff Kingsbury uses him outstandingly.
Now, Trevor Lawrence in the red zone. DJ Chark. Oh, over 2 defenders.
Nice throw there by the rookie. Some good, some bad today.
Everybody into the pool.
Get a cabana for me.
Is it open? I don't know. Jags tie the game at 7. Now, at the end of the half, Matt Prater, his name came up as the longest field goal ever. They're going to try a 68-yarder. What could go wrong? Maybe he doesn't make it. So what? Jamal Agnew. Let's run it back from 9 yards deep. The silent majority. Jamal Agnew gets a block. My goodness, he's tied a record that'll never be broken. Antonio Cromartie, San Diego Chargers, 109 yards on a return missed field goal. Now Agnew in the book. 13-7 Jacksonville. My goodness.
That's a great play because field goal teams don't have any speed on them, so nobody to catch the returner.
Now, Jacksonville, wait a minute, we could win. Byron Murphy, 29 yards. And the Cardinals go back out and top 24-19. Now, Kyler Murray, still a 1-score game. You know what? A big game in Cardinal colors, A.J. Green.
Yeah, turning back the hands of time.
Wow, and he's got good hands. In addition to the hands of time, 36 yards, and then James Conner. You know his story from Pittsburgh? Cardinals win it 31-19. Murphy had the 2 picks. Murray threw for 316. A.J. Green caught balls of over 100 yards. First time since 2015 that Arizona has started at 3-0. Marquee game of the day. Undefeated Bucks, undefeated Rams in the beautiful new house in L.A. You've heard of Tom Brady. And you've heard of Matthew Stafford. Well, Brady beat the Rams in his last Patriots Super Bowl, but Stafford wasn't there. Does Cooper Kupp 14-7. Rams were ready, Booger.
They were rolling. Nice play call, pick route for the touchdown.
Under 30 seconds to go in the half. Hit by Aaron Donald is Brady. Gio Bernard catches the loose ball, though. You know what? Play ruled a fumble, and in the last 2 minutes, you can't advance.
No doubt. Aaron Donald lined up against Rob Gronkowski. Mismatch in favor of Aaron Donald.
The untucked rule.
Yes.
Okay? So the Rams flip a buck to 7 at the half, 14-7. Now, you know who's still around. You forget about him. Came into the league fast, going to leave the league fast. Deshaun Jackson, I don't think they're going to catch him. 75 yards from Matthew Stafford.
Really bad play by the Buccaneers safety. Mike Edwards gets caught flat-footed, falls down, and Jackson still has that speed, Boom.
Yeah, he always has fun. Punt return.
Yeah,
kick
you
return.
got to.
He's a beauty. Look at Sean McVay. He's got good speed. Bucks possession. Brady, Gronk, Terrell Lewis, Gronk down on the play.
Yeah.
Had to go to the locker room.
Me Gronk, me hurt in the ribs.
He's gone. Brady. Well, he's got a lot of tight ends. Cameron Brate from Harvard. I won't mention the Harvard Brown score. It's not good on the
Yeah, it
Brown
wasn't.
side. Yeah, not very good. Down to the 1 yard line. Then Brady. You know what? He has more rushing touchdowns than like the Bucs.
Anytime you're on the half-yard line or 1 yard line, he's going to sneak it.
And the Bucs got it to 21-14. Stafford. Jackson. Now when he's got to run like amazing. After all these years, nobody can catch him. Rams, well, they're melon heads. Stafford. Cup. But they work the side so well, don't they, Booger?
His ability to run routes and set up defensive backs is outstanding. One of the more underrated players in this league. Maybe the best slot receiver we have right now.
Rams up 28-14. Carlton Davis frustrated. Now 34-17. Brady. Forget it. Tom upset. Mike Evans frustrated. Look, the Bucs had won 10 straight games following that bye week last year. Rams, one of the last teams to beat the Bucs, their second to last loss, if you will, last November. But this time, these Rams are the team that leaves the field undefeated. And the Buccaneers, Super Bowl champs, lose for the first time this season. So, boy, L.A. was ready.
You know, Boom, Matthew Stafford, when he left Detroit and came to the Rams, they talked about what he wanted. He said, I want to play in big games. I've been hitting up here in Detroit. Well, this was a big game against Tom Brady and the defending Super Bowl champs, and Matthew Stafford showed up. You saw him throw the football accurately. He got Cooper Kupp involved, and he threw the ball downfield. This was a huge game for the Rams' psyche because they need to know that the trade they made is going to be beneficial. They look more explosive on offense. And for the Buccaneers, when you look at the other side, no JPP, no Sean Murphy-Bunting, no Antonio Brown. Jamal Dean, their DB, goes out in the first half. They were missing some pieces, but unless they can run the football, a lot more games are going to look like this. They can't play and put the whole game on Tom Brady. They have to find a running game and get healthy defensively.
He's won games in 41 stadiums. He had a chance to win in a 42nd. he may have another chance if they get back to the Super Bowl.
In SoFi.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. In SoFi, they're going to New England the next week. A lot of chatter on that game, but this was more important because who knows? Home field, etc.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, another team that was hoping to go 3-0 for a while played in LA. Of course, for years, Oakland, the Las Vegas Raiders at home against Miami. Down 14-5, Derek Carr, Alex Ingold. And after Miami led at 14-0, and then an ill-advised pass in the end zone made it a safety, the Raiders are scoring all the time, and it's 14-12. Middle of the third, same score. Hunter Renfrow, he plays the outfield for the Red Sox. He catches ball, and touchdown, they lead 19-14.
Great job by Derek Carr, extending the play, moving out of the pocket. That's what John Gruden has been waiting on.
So, second ago, Peyton Barber clears the pile. They miss an extra point, but it's all Raiders. They've scored 25 straight points. Remember, Tua IR, Jacoby Brissett, under 2 minutes to go. Pass incomplete, but a flag. Defensive pass interference, Las Vegas.
Yeah, probably didn't need to make that penalty, but good call.
So, under 10 seconds to go. Fourth and goal, Brissett. Running, moving, diving. They're down by 2. It's 25-23. So with no time, or excuse me, 2 seconds. Brissett, they got to get 2. Will Fuller, yes, they do it. Boy, these teams had a wild game late last year. We're tied at 25. Raiders, overtime. This is second Raider possession. No, this is the first one. To Brian Edwards, 32 yards. 4th and 9. Remember, field goal doesn't end it, but it gets you lead. So they won toss. They had the ball. Daniel Carlson, 38 yards, 28-25. Yay! Very quickly, it's 4th and 20. We saw the Ravens get a 4th and 19. And Mike Gesicki, they're going to get a 4th and 20. I mean, this is unbelievable. Now, Jason Sanders. Could he be Colonel Sanders? It's a great kick. Yay! 50 yards. We're tied at 28. A lot of colonels on this day. Raiders have ball. Peyton Barber. Deep into Miami territory. Now Daniel Carlson will come on. Field goal wins it, obviously. At the end, another one of these 5-quarter games. I mean, what did John Gruden say? He feel like he left 9 lives in that first game of the year against Baltimore? I know they call this place the Death Star. 3-0. I'm calling the stadium the jackpot because the Raiders may have hit the jackpot. They lead it 31-28. Colts, Titans. 2 teams accustomed to playoffs, but Indianapolis with a gimpy Carson Wentz trying to avoid going 0-3 from whence he's come. Both ankles hurt. Wentz against Ryan Tannehill. Both playoff teams a year ago. Picking up where he left off last year, second half last week. Derrick Henry, he ran for 113. That's 19 yards. Tannehill. Chester Rogers was a Colt, now a Titan, 7-0. Under 30 to go in the first quarter. Tannehill. Darius Leonard, kind of a gift. Leonard always around the ball, but look out at the fumble. He tries to get it. He does.
Yeah, really poor job by Tannehill there. He's double clutching, triple clutching. At that point, you got to eat it or throw it out of bounds. Nice pick, easy pick for the maniac, Darius Leonard.
And so, 3rd and 1 Indy. Jonathan Taylor runs for first down, but I mean, they're big names. Quentin Nelson, good alignment as the risen in the league, hurt on the play, and a player roll on his ankle.
Yeah, he's been banged up all year, Boom. The foot, the back, the ankle, a lot going on for one of the better linemen.
2nd and 4 from the 9. Nyheim Hines in the end zone, tied at 7. A.J. Brown hurting, hamstring injury. Tannehill to Nick Westbrook Akine. 14-7 Tennessee. After a Colts punt, 3rd and 9 Tennessee. Tannehill, Rodgers, doink! Into the hands of Kenny Moore II. And the Colts get a field goal out of it. It's 14-10 at the half, Tennessee. Early fourth quarter, 14-13 Titans. Tannehill says we need some pad. And he's going to get it right here. Plenty of time. Jeremy McNichols and the Titans, who were on the ropes last week against Seattle, looked like they go to 0-2. All of a sudden, they are 2-1. And the Indianapolis Colts, surprisingly, have fallen to 0-3. Tough.
A lot of injuries for the coach, especially on the offense. The quarterback couldn't move today. 2 sprained ankles. He just looked like a shell of himself. They got to get healthy, especially up front and the quarterback.
Yeah, he couldn't run. I mean, give him credit for getting in there.
I will.
0-3.
Yes.
Looking uphill. 2 teams looking uphill. Falcons, Giants.
Way uphill.
Yeah, but you know what? Nothing. It's all downhill for him. Number 10 retired. Beautiful ceremony. Eli Manning.
Eli.
Giants fans so appreciative. Why wouldn't there be 2 Super Bowl wins? We could go on and on. So how would the Giants respond against Atlanta in the third quarter, trailing 7-6? Hey, that's Saquon Barkley. Hey, that's Saquon Barkley. 2-point conversion, the Giants get it to 14-7. You got to win on Eli Day, right?
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Hey, come on, Atlanta, let's go. Falcons. Matt Ryan with a fake handoff finds Lee Smith in the end zone. not for one of his many saves as a pitcher, but a touchdown. And he gives the lineman a spike. He knows. Now, Daniel Jones. Can they get the final drive? No, it's Darius Fowler Jr. After the 2-minute warning. Falcons down to the 20. Cordero Patterson, one of the guys with those long returns at like 109, 108. Now he's trying to get them going 26 yards. No, they're on their own 20, what we should have said. Now, Kyle Pitts.
Hey, there he is.
Number 4 overall pick in the field goal range, and Young-Ho Koo. Had a good run. 40-yard field goal at the buzzer. Good. Atlanta had lost 7 in a row, dating back to last year. Obviously, the G-Men are 0-3, and Arthur Smith wins for the first time as a head coach. Congratulations to him. So let's see. Giants lost. And then 3 hours later, the Jets got to play. They were playing Denver in Denver. Again, the Broncos, one of the few teams that hadn't had an opener. And so they're at home, first time, but they're 2-0. Zach Wilson, Jets. Elijah Moore, ball bouncing. Wilson, struggling. Not the case for Teddy Bridgewater. KJ Green Eggs and Hamler, 28 yards. Bridgewater, pitch. Javonte Williams, touchdown. 7-0 Denver.
Between Javonte and Gordon, they can run the ball like all get out in Denver.
And that's what Vic Fangio likes because he's got a defense. Witness Alexander Johnson with the sack of Wilson. He's back in the Rockies, at least close to BYU, trying to breathe in that rarefied air, but gets punting. 10-0 Denver. Wilson sacked by Von Miller. 3 sacks Denver. Broncos, Bridgewater, moving. And he can move it. Remember his horrific injury a couple years ago.
It's amazing how much healthier he looks now.
13 yards. Bridgewater. And you know, Judy is out, but Sutton and Tim Patrick are becoming big figures. Set up a run by Melvin Gordon for a touchdown at 17-0. Malik Reed. I think there's a Malik in the offensive line. Jets end the first half trailing 17-0. Now it's 20-0. Robert Saleh. Well, there's a reason I got this job, because they weren't very good. And they had an opening, and he had to take it, and they'll get better. Off the hands of Ty Johnson. Jets turn the ball over. Hey, look. 23-0. Pick by Justin Simmons. 6 picks for the youngster Wilson. Keep firing.
You have to keep firing, but I'm sensing a theme. Rookie quarterbacks are going to throw picks, and the Jets' offensive line is pretty bad.
And I know that Denver hasn't had the hugest of schedules. So what? Their defense has showed up, and they shut out. You get a shutout in the NFL, I don't care. You beat the New York Jets 26-0. The Broncos are 3-0. And then, you know what? We hate to show it, but a fact is a fact is a fact. Start spreading the snooze in New York. We're not even to October. From 2017 on, the Jets and the Giants in a dead heat for worst record in the NFL at 18-49. And the Bengals ain't coming their way. They're moving the other way. New York, New York. Uh-oh. Well, probably not giving a game ball immediately to the Jets or the Giants, but we have something to dole out. Booger, who are you looking at?
We talked about Chandler Jones a few weeks ago having foul sacks. What about Myles Garrett? 4.5 sacks. The Cleveland Browns defensive line dominated the Bears. And Myles Garrett, just a repertoire of moves, inside, outside, jumping over guys. He came into this league, and he's now living up to the billing. An early candidate, super early for Defensive Player of the Year. Outstanding job by Myles Garrett.
Well, I'll tell you what, offensive and defensive players of the next 2 years are going to my game ball, because our congratulations, really both sides of the pond. I want to congratulate Europe as well. But the United States, after many has struggled, and after getting wiped out in France 3 years ago, Dustin Johnson played 5 matches, the most you could play, won them all. Only the 5th ever in Ryder Cup history to do that. The U.S. ended up rolling to a Ryder Cup victory at Whistling Straits in Wisconsin, 19-9. golf in this country, really both sides of the pond, in great hands. And it was fun to watch, and congratulations to them because it's just different. Even the casual fan goes, "Ooh, this Ryder Cup, what is that?" It's a lot of fun to see.
Yeah, and for Dustin Johnson to go 5-0 at Whistling Straits, where he had that absolute horrific ruling in the PGA Championship years ago, somewhat vindication for him.
And you shout out to Steve Stricker.
Absolutely.
Said, right?
One of the greatest guys you'll ever meet, the captain. Anytime you captain a winning Ryder Cup team, especially in your homeland of Wisconsin, great job, Steve Stricker.
And if he hadn't been paying for cheese and beer, which I don't think he has been in Wisconsin, he's got a lifetime supply.
Yes, he does.
And so do all his family and his closest friends. Congratulations. Well, that's the Sunday, a lot of the Sunday action, but we are not done for Sunday Night Football. The San Francisco 49ers against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Scott Van Pelt for highlights. Scotty?
Boomer, thanks. And we thought it would be good. It might have been better. Yet another great primetime game from the NFL. Packers and Niners, and it was all road team, at least early. Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams, they'd already hooked up for a touchdown. This one gets down there close, 19-yard gain. And Aaron Jones, who had the huge Monday night game against the Lions, finds the end zone, and it's 17-0. But Jimmy Garoppolo and the Niners would get down there close. Looked like they might have to settle for a field goal after Garoppolo's pressured here, has to get rid of it. 2 seconds left. Kick the field goal. No. Kyle Shanahan brings in Trey Lance. Look at Trent Williams just laying waste to humanity, smashing everything in his path. And Lance is in, and the gamble pays off. It's 17-7, third quarter. That's the score. Garoppolo on 3rd and 9. A little high, but Deebo Samuel comes down with it. A couple of plays later, once again, it's 3rd down. Garoppolo, Brandon Ayuk. Slow start to his sophomore season, but gets the touchdown there. It's a 3-point game. Green Bay trying to respond, and they do. Rodgers with a preposterous pass to Marquez Valdez-Scantling in the end zone. 24-14. After the Niners answer yet again. Green Bay looking deep to Davante Adams, and he takes a helmet to the chin, and it was a frightening sight to see. Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers are looking for a flag, and it's amazing in this league, which does such a good job of protecting its players on shots that sometimes look somewhat innocuous. That looks like textbook, no flag. Adams had to go into the tent. Thankfully, for Packers fans, I think for everybody, he'd be back on the field soon. San Francisco with the ball, trailing by 3, and Garoppolo this time, that's a fumble. Garoppolo tried to sell that I was throwing it. He was not. Devondre Campbell is on it for Green Bay. But the Niners defense was able to hold Green Bay to a field goal, which meant if they could drive the length of the field and score a touchdown, they could take the lead, and they did. Kyle Juszczyk with a catch out of the backfield, and they'd taken the lead for the first time all night. Rodgers gets the ball back, no timeouts, 37 seconds left. No problem. Rodgers, Davante Adams, perfect pass. They're at midfield. They clock it. Took a shot on 2nd down, found nothing. They got one more chance, basically. And it's executed to perfection. Once again, it's Rodgers to Adams. Everybody knows the drill. They practice this. Let's clock it and give Mason Crosby a chance from 51. The snap, the hold, the kick. All are good. And Green Bay, after letting a 17-point lead evaporate in 37 seconds, 2 completions, they get into range for Mason Crosby, and they leave San Francisco with the same record as the Niners. They will welcome the reeling Pittsburgh Steelers to Green Bay next week. Speaking of reeling, I don't know if you can be reeling this early, but Seattle has dropped a couple in a row as well. NFC West showdown by the Bay as the Niners, off their first loss of the season, welcome Seattle.
Well, Monday Night Football was really the Dak Prescott show. It was all about Dak coming in, 2 strong road games, but coming back to the same stadium in which his ankle just exploded on him a year ago. He was back and in fantastic form, taking on Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Prescott got the emotional response you would expect from this home crowd, and he came out firing on the opening drive, right down the middle, to CeeDee Lamb.
He sent the Eagles a message saying this: if you make any mistakes in the back end, I'm going to exploit them because I'm on my game this year.
And there's Zeke pumping it through for the touchdown, and Dallas was in business with a 7-0 lead.
This was an Eagles defense that we thought was going to do more of this. Javon Hargrave and Fletcher Cox affecting Dak Prescott. That time, Hargrave gets the pressure, and Fletcher Cox evens the score.
Philadelphia needed that. No Brandon Graham in the game for the Eagles. Now Prescott throwing, finding his tight end. Went to Schultz and Blake Jarwin tonight. Schultz on the receiving end of that touchdown.
And then they just go ahead and hand it to Zeke up the middle again. They did that all night long. They played bully ball, power football between the tackles. Ezekiel Elliott sending a message to the rest of the NFL and all his doubters to say, I'm not done yet.
The Eagles were just about done after this. Devontae Smith falls, and that is pick 6 time for Trayvon Diggs.
The Cowboys came into this game leading the league in turnovers, and they got 2 interceptions in this one. But Trayvon Diggs, a name to remember and watch out for on this defense the rest of the year.
Eagles showed a pulse. Zach Ertz fresh off the COVID list into the end zone for the touchdown. But Prescott then buying himself some time, extending, and finding Cedric Wilson for the touchdown. Every time the Eagles sort of hung around, the Cowboys would push him away.
Well, and that's the mark of a great leader in Dak Prescott. And once that momentum, because there were a couple of times where it got close to a 2-score game, you could sense that momentum shifting to the Eagles, and Dak had an answer every time.
And a massive smile by Prescott was seen at the end of this one after a tear was shed during the national anthem, evaluating what he has been in the last year in his life. And, you know, we opened the show tonight talking about how multiple the Cowboys were on offense. We got a really good taste of that, but the offense wasn't really the question. Defense was pretty good tonight, and they're only going to get better.
But they play with a ferocity and an intensity that really is set forth by Dan Quinn, their defensive coordinator. That's how he wants them to play. Look, he kind of really summed it up when he talked about Mike, or when Micah Parsons told us that Dan Quinn told him this, you know, there's a few things we want you to key on the end of the line of scrimmage when you're playing defensive end. But when all else fails, just run and hit. And that's how this team plays. Now, they play smart, too, and they're right now playing at a deficit. They have a lot of guys that they're missing. Just think what this defense may look like in the middle of the season when everyone's healthy.
I think Dan Quinn has had an unbelievable impact in a short amount of time. I mean, Dan Quinn was dumped in Atlanta, and he had to do some soul searching, came here and found a bunch of guys that they were 473 points they gave up a year ago, most in franchise history. Imagine the psyche of those guys when Dan Quinn shows up, and to have them playing at this kind of intensity this early is impressive.
Speaking of this early, I'm one of those who believes it's never too early to look at the standings. And when you look at the NFC East as we get ready to kick off October, the Cowboys are in first place all alone.
All right, fellas, thank you. You know, Boog, again, only 3 weeks, and we have the longest season yet, 17 games. But you look at these playoff teams every year, and you go, how are they going to miss it? How are they going to How are they going to? Half of them are different every year. For example, Indy, playoffs, 0-3. These are all playoff teams. Pittsburgh, 1-2. Kansas City, 1-2. Chicago, 1-2. Seattle, 1-2. I mean, you know from playing. You don't just plug it in, do you?
You can't just roll your name out there and expect teams to roll over. You have to go play these games, and those teams are struggling. Now, here's my question. Which ones are going to bounce back and right the ship? Can't wait to find out.
Well, we'll see their pedigree.
Yeah.
Sometimes the stuff goes, it's early yet. Just pointing it out that, as Ringo Starr once said, it don't come easy. Thanks for watching this edition of